Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Science for Everyone. This is the part second of my video series that is related to prokaryotes, the multiple choice questions. In the previous video, I have solved 50 MCQs that were related to prokaryotes, and I hope that you have watched that video and you have judged yourself that how much you are best in the field of prokaryotes. As I have told you that the latter 45 MCQs I will solve in the second part. So let's proceed with that this part. Okay. So now we will start the 51st MCQs of the today's video. Okay. The 51st MCQs is the Streptococcus aureus is classified with which one group of bacteria? It is Proteobacteria, Chlamydias, Spirochetes, or gram-positive bacteria. So first you have to compare it with, first of all, Streptococcus aureus is round-shaped bacteria. So Spirochetes are all spiral in shape. And Proteobacteria consist of gram-positive bacteria, but there are different other bacteria. So the most accurate answer to this question is that Streptococcus aureus is gram-positive bacteria. Okay, so this is the simple answer to it. Now the 52nd is that the organism that can cause non-gonococcal urethritis are classified with. So it is a straightforward MCQ and it is caused by chlamydias. Okay. The 53rd is the chemoheterotroph Proteus vulgaricus is a rod-shaped bacterium classified with. So this is also an MCQs, and the correct one is that basically this the chemoheterotroph Proteus vulgaris is a gram this Proteus vulgaricus is a rod-shaped bacterium classified with Proteobacteria. Okay, if we look to the spirochetes, so spirochetes are spiral in shape, and cyanobacteria are chemolithoautotroph. So these two are not in this. And chlamydias, this chlamydias bacteria, these consist of different other bacteria that is not involved in the Proteus vulgaricus. So Proteobacteria consist of this Proteus vulgaris. Okay, so just if you want to solve the MCQs correctly, so first you have to eliminate those that are not very much connected to it. Okay, after that then you it will be easy for you. Okay, now we will proceed further. Okay, the spiral shaped bacteria are likely to be placed with spirochetes, as we all know that spirochetes are spiral in shape. Now, which choice below can be found in gram-negative bacteria, but not in gram-positive bacteria? So, peptidoglycan layer is also present in gram-positive as well as in gram-negative bacteria. Fimbriae is also present in both. And the third one is that a membrane outside the cell wall. So, a membrane is only be present outside the cell wall of the gram-negative bacteria. So, the third C is correct. And just look to the D portion. So nuclear region is present in gram positive as well as in the gram negative bacteria. The 56 is the genes for the resistance of antibiotic are usually located, and it is mainly located on the plasmids. Okay, if a bacteria that is having plasmids, so there is a chance that bacterial resistant genes will be present on the plasmid. Okay, the 57th is the bacterium Bacillus thuringiensis can withstand heat, dryness, and toxic chemicals that would kill most other bacteria. This indicates that it is probably able to form pseudopodia, endotoxin, villi, and endospore. So we all know that Bacillus thuringiensis can form endospore, and only endospore can withstand these harsh conditions. 58 number bacteria that live around deep sea hot water and hot water vents obtain energy by oxidizing inorganic hydrogen sulfide and belched out by the vents They use this energy to build inorganic molecule from carbon obtained from the carbon dioxide in seawater. These bacteria are, so I want to tell you that it is very much easy MCQ, just a little bit technical. And here you should know about the photoheterotroph, chemoautotroph, photoautotroph. If you are completely known to these, so you can easily solve this type of MCQs. Okay, so just look here. You will divide this sentence. Bacteria that live around deep sea or hot water vents obtain energy. It gets its energy by oxidizing inorganic hydrogen sulfide. So first of all, it is getting its energy from inorganic compound. So as I have told you that when energy is taken from inorganic molecules, so these are known as chemo. Okay, these are known as chemo. So first you have to eliminate the photo and the photo. So the B and C, now you will compare the B and C. Now again, now the other is that they use this energy to build organic molecules. Okay, they used to build organic molecule from carbon obtained from the carbon dioxide. Okay, now they are using carbon dioxide to build organic compounds. Okay, so they are basically autotrophs. Okay, because they are using CO2. Yeah, they are using CO2, so they are autotroph. So the correct answer is the chemoautotrophs. Okay, so if you haven't watched my video over chemoheterotroph and other nutritional types of bacteria, so when watch that videos, then you will be easily understand this MCQs and you can easily solve it. Okay, now 59 number is, which statement is true about obligates anaerobes? Which statement is true about obligate anaerobe? So just compare this, that they use O2 for cellular respiration. No, obligate anaerobes cannot use O2. They obtain energy by oxidizing ferrous ions. They can use ferrous ion, but no, but they can also use many other ions. Okay, they will use O2 if it is present, but can obtain energy by fermentation if needed. Okay, they will never use O2. And the last one is that they are poisoned by O2. So the correct answer is that obligate anaerobes can be poisoned by oxygen. The prokaryotes organism most likely to be found living in salt ponds are known as halophiles. We all know that halophiles like salt conditions. Okay, 61st is, which clade of archaea contains the extreme which clade of archaea contains the extreme halophiles and methanogens. Okay, so it is a straightforward MCQ, and here is the portion is eukaryota. Okay, so this is a straightforward MCQ. An ecological relationship between organisms of different species that are in direct contact can best be described as, okay, symbiotic, parasitic, mutualistic, and commensalism. So keep this thing in mind that these all are in direct contact, and the and in symbiotic, these all are symbiotic relationship. So this is also commensal and parasitic, and these all are in direct contact. So the accurate answer is symbiotic. Okay, 63 is that, which statement below about bacteria and humans is not true? So bacteria come in the prokaryotes and human come in the eukaryote. Okay, so in a human body, bacterial cell outnumber human cell by as much as 10 times. Okay, and it is correct that bacteria are present in high amount in our body with respect to our body cell. Some bacteria can cause human cells to release antimicrobial agent that kill other species of bacteria. Yes, this is correct. Our immune cells secrete antimicrobial agents. Many of the relationship between bacterial cell and the human cell they live within can describe as commensal. Yes, in our large intestine, there are bacteria that are living in commensalism. Okay, and the fourth one is the prokaryotes are the root of all human disease. Now there are viruses, protists, and algae that are also producing diseases. Okay, so the D number is correct. Which statement about endotoxins is true? Okay, so endotoxin are component of the cell wall of gram positive bacteria. Now It is not correct. Endotoxins are released only when bacteria die and their cell wall breaks down. Okay, so this is the B is correct. And 65 is that why is salt a good preservative to use for food such as pork and fish? So why we use salt to preserve food? So prokaryotes living in the food products will take in excess water and explode. No, the water will take the salt will take water from them and they will be shrink. Okay, so prokaryote cell will shrink from their cell wall because the salt will absorb the water because the outer environment is hypertonic. So just because it is hypertonic, so the just to make the outer environment equal to its inner environment, so they will release solvent from their cells. So just because of it, the cell will shrink and they will die. Gram negative bacteria have peptidoglycan. Gram negative bacteria have dash peptidoglycan, then gram positive cells. So it has and their cell walls are dash complex structure. So gram negative bacteria have less peptidoglycan, but their structure are more complex than gram positive bacteria. Okay, so this was the 66th MCQ. Now if we proceed further, so the 67 is that the gram negative cell wall consists of, it is very much easy. A gram negative cell wall consists of a thin layer of peptidoglycan surrounded by an outer membrane. Which statement about prokaryotic fimbriae and pili is not true? So fimbriae and pili are special organelles that are used, wait a minute. Okay. So they are used to attach attach cells within each other. They are used to transfer different components in between cells. So they may assist prokaryotes in adhering to a substance. Yes. They may assist prokaryotes in adhering to each other. Yes. They are more similar in structure to eukaryotic flagella than they are similar to prokaryotic flagella, and specialized pili link prokaryote during conjugation. So this one is not true. They are more similar in structure to eukaryote. No, they are not similar to eukaryotic flagella. Okay. So if we proceed further, 69th number is that what is the role of basal apparatus in a prokaryotic cell? So for example, this is a flagella. So here there is a basal apparatus. Okay, and now this is the bacteria. So what is the function of the basal apparatus? It controls its function in the cell. It is a system of rings in the cell wall that power the flagellum. Okay, this is the correct answer. Bacteria, their dish tends to have abundant internal membranes. Okay, so they are photosynthetic. Okay, the photosynthetic bacteria will have abundant internal membranes. Okay, because there is present the photosynthetic machinery are present in that membranes. Okay. 71, which one of the following is not used to identify different kind of bacteria? Okay, so which is not used? Okay, which of the following is not used to identify different kind of bacteria? So it is the number of chromosome. Okay, because chromosome are the same in all bacteria, and we can classify bacteria on the basis of nutrition, cell wall composition, and cell shape. Bacterial cells, but not eukaryotic cells, possess photosynthetic pigment. Okay, a nucleoid with circular chromosome membrane. Eukaryotic cells can be photosynthetic, that protist, but they are in eukaryotes there is a nucleus, but in prokaryotes there is not a nucleus, there is a nucleoid. Okay, what is plasmid? Plasmid is replicate independently of the main chromosome. Okay, often contain antibiotic resistant genes, are transferred from one bacteria to another bacteria. All of these are true. Okay. 74, the bacteria that cause tetanus can be killed only by prolonged heating at temperature considerably above boiling. This suggests that these bacteria are produce spores. Okay. Clostridium tetani, these bacteria produce spores. Bacteria that use light for their energy source and CO2 for their carbon source are called. So when they use light as energy source, so they are known as photo. And when they use CO2 as their carbon source, so they are known as photoautotroph. The 76th number is that in an experiment, a microbiologist put equal number of each of the following organism into a flask of sterile broth consisting mostly of sugar and few amino acid. She then placed the flask in the disk. Which of the organism would be mostly likely to survive? Okay, so these now again these are the chemo autotroph, and now we will consider it. So just look here, she is placing sugars and amino acids, and these are organic. Okay, so some then place the flask in the dark, and they are placed in the dark. So sugars and amino acids are organic and they are used as a carbon source. So first of all, keep this thing in mind that they should be heterotrophic. Okay, and after that they are placed in the dark, so there is no photosynthesis. So these are chemoheterotrophic bacteria. Okay, if it was cyanobacteria, so they should be kept in the light. If it was photoheterotroph, so they should be kept in the light. And if it was acidophilic bacteria, so it should be kept in acidic condition. So that's why. So just make the smart choice. The D-sulfovibrio bacteria breaks down organic matter and which is must have, and use sulfate, not oxygen, as an electron acceptor. Okay, so and as a result it produces hydrogen sulfide, H2S, accounting for the rotten egg. So what are these? So you keep this thing in mind that those bacteria that accept the electrons in the electron transport chain, when the electrons are accepted by other compounds, and that is not oxygen, so they are anaerobic bacteria. So first of all, keep this thing in mind that these are anaerobic bacteria. Now then, so then place the flask in the oxygen is deadly poison. Okay, oxygen is also deadly poison to it, so it is obligated anaerobic chemoheterotroph. Okay, so make a smart choice. If we proceed further, wait a minute. Okay, choose the list below that contains the substances required by typical nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria. So now this is a technical MCQ that just look here. If it is cyano is photosynthetic, as well as it is nitrogen fixing bacteria. So it should need carbon dioxide, it should need nitrogen, water, light, and some other minerals. So if look here, it does not need sulfur, so this is not correct. It does not need sulfur, so it is not correct. And it does not need carbon, it needs carbon dioxide. So the fourth number is correct. What is the role of heterocyst in a cyanobacterian filaments? Okay, so there are as we know that it is cyanobacteria is a nitrogen fixing bacteria, and it consists of an enzyme nitrogenase, and it is very much keep this thing in mind, it is very much it can be poisoned and it can be inactivated by the presence of oxygen. Okay, so heterocysts are special membrane bounded cells that consist of the nitrogenase enzyme just to keep it away from the oxygen. Okay, so what is the role of heterocysts in the cyanobacteria? So they carry out nitrogen fixation, but keep this thing in mind that it can also carry out photosynthesis, a small portion of photosynthesis, not all photosynthesis, but a small portion of photosynthesis. So they carry out photosynthesis and nitrogen fixation as well. 80% of the genome of certain prokaryotic species are very similar to portion of the genome of distantly related prokaryotes. The process that mostly likely account for the genetic similarity is the, what is the, basically it is about the transfer of genes from one bacteria to another, and it is mainly done by the horizontal gene transfer by the transformation, conjugation, and the transduction. Okay, so because just according to horizontal gene transfer, genes are transferred between bacteria. Okay, which subgroup of proteobacteria consists many species that are closely associated with eukaryotic host in mutualistic or parasitic relationship. So this is alpha bacteria. It is a straightforward MCQ. Just you should have the knowledge. Okay, the 82 is the, it consists of the delta bacteria. Okay, again I'm telling you that it is a straightforward MCQ. Which group of bacteria is unusual in that they lack peptidoglycan in their cell wall? Okay, so these are basically which bacteria does not have peptidoglycan layer. So spirochetes are also having, gram negative is also having it, and epsilon proteobacteria is also having, because mostly the gram positive bacteria is present in the proteobacteria. So this bacteria is not having enough lack peptidoglycan, unusual peptidoglycan. Which of the following is not a characteristic of some bacteria? Okay, so archaea. So in archaea there is no peptidoglycan. Which of the following is the difference between bacteria and archaea? So the correct option is that they have different chemicals in their cell membrane and cell wall. Okay, the cell membrane of and the cell wall of the bacteria and archaea are different from each other. And archaea can be unicellular as well as it can be colonial. It can occur in different. So the A, B, and D are not included, and the C is included. Which of the following statement about cyanobacteria is not true? Okay, so the correct is that they are the only prokaryotes that perform plant-like oxygenic photosynthesis. No, there are cyanobacteria are the only. There are some other prokaryotes that can also perform photosynthesis, not only cyanobacteria. Prokaryotes found inhabiting the Great Salt Lake would be extreme halophiles. Okay, because there is a high content of salt in the Great Salt Lake. Which of the following groups of prokaryote is classified as a member of domain Archaea? Okay, so which of the following groups of prokaryote is classified as a member of domain Archaea? So gram negative bacteria, spirochetes, and cyanobacteria are included in eubacteria, and methanogens are Archaea. Okay, included in Archaea. For which method of bioremediation would a methanogen most likely be used? Okay, so it is used by decomposing waste sewage treatment facility. It can be used in the waste sewage treatment facility because these are methanogens, and these are also decomposer and can degrade waste substances. Okay, now the last slide is that, okay, the 90th is which clade of Archaea include most of the extreme halophile, extreme thermophile. So it is Pinna archaeota. Okay, it is a straightforward MCQ. A type of ecological relationship called dash involve one organism living at the expense of another organism. Okay, so just look here. In mutualism, both give benefits to each other. In commensalism, one gives benefit, okay, and the other is nor benefited or nor harmed. Okay, but in case of parasitism, if the bacteria should a type of ecological relationship involve one organism living at the expense of other. So the organism live when they get nutrient from its host. Okay, so this is the correct answer is the parasitism. Now 92 number is that which example below is a correct statement about bacteroids micron. bacteria that live in the human intestine. So if you are not familiar with this bacteria, so just look here. Here include the human intestine. So the bacteria have a parasitic relationship with the human body. Okay, and the bacteria have a commensal relationship with the human body, and the bacteria have a mutualistic relationship with the human body. So the correct answer is the bacteria have mutualistic. Okay, because this bacteria, a bacteria that live in the human intestine, when it is living in the human intestine, so keep this thing in mind that it should be either mutualism or it should be commensalism. Okay, so the most diverse group is the mutualism. So just because of it. Now, ticks of genus Loxodonts are responsible for spreading of the bacterium dish, which causes. Okay, so the correct answer is this one. Okay, because Vibrio cholera are not there is no sufficient information that it is released by certain ticks. Okay, mainly Vibrio cholera is present in the feces of the living organism. If it is Salmonella, so it is present in the food, and if it is Helicobacter pylori, so it is causing stomach ulcer, and it is also present in the feces of the organism. So this is the main MC correct choice. The last one is that the 94, which statement is true regarding cholera? So the correct is that its symptoms are caused by an exotoxin that stimulates intestinal cells to release chloride ion into the gut. Okay, so this was the last MCQs, and in the previous video I have discussed the 50 MCQs, and now I have discussed the later MCQs. So I am pretty sure that this will help you a lot. And the book that I am using in this MCQ and taking this MCQs from, it is very much authentic, and it is very much reliable. Okay, so if you have liked this video, so share this video with your friends, and comment that how much MCQs have you corrected. Okay, okay. Thank you very much. God bless you.